Yo, yo, yo. Y'all already know what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Drunk Sports Talk. You know how we started off. We take a little shot. Today I'm using a red cup, but this shot right here. Chat, take a breath. Cause I'm stressed, man. I needed that one. This shot right here is because of the Knicks. We're gonna be drinking a lot more in the next 7 games. We're gonna break it down for you, ladies and gentlemen. We in a bad place at the wrong time right now. But yo, this goes out to my Knicks fans who are through and through. But we still here, man. But I ain't lose faith. Things will get better. But let's hope. Yo, salute.
Salute.
Mm. Oh yeah.
Cheers, my niggas.
Cheers.
Yeah, I want to welcome everyone back to Drunk Sports Talk, New York's #1 sports talk show. We are the voice of the streets. You already know this. There's no disputing that. Allow me to introduce. I'm saucy. Allow me to introduce myself. It's your boy Cash, and as always, I got my brothers at television and my brothers Q. You know what I'm saying? I used to get that confused. I got it down pat now.
Y'all both this side.
Yeah, it's the opposite way. Yeah, man, we're back. It's been a couple of weeks, as my man Grand Pooba says, and Jodeci. Sorry I left you. Yeah, man, feels good to be back. Pause. What's up, my brothers? How y'all feeling, man?
Yo, feeling good, feeling great. How are you?
Chilling.
I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. I am so blessed. Tired, but I'm blessed and highly favored. Yeah, man, a lot going on in the world of sports.
Oh yeah.
Actually, no, there's not a lot going on, but we're gonna talk about it anyway.
It's a lot going on with us. A lot going on with our New York teams.
A lot going on with our New York teams. So here's what I would like to start it off with, man. The New York Knicks, right?
Ah, Jesus.
Man, you know what? Check this out. I'm glad you said "Ah, Jesus," because when we used to say "Ah, Jesus," it was because of despair. Like there's no hope.
Yeah,
right. Jesus, we gotta talk about the Knicks. Oh my God,
damn,
man! Like,
bro.
Now it's like, oh Jesus, like we getting jerked this year. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like the basketball gods are jerking us. Pause. Listen, we're still fighting injury bug. Y'all can see the lower third down there. We're still fighting the injury bug. Mm-hmm. But listen, let me start here. I'm a little off. It's been 3 weeks. Knicks lost to the Pelicans last night, right? Mm-hmm. The Pelicans have been hot. I'm not mad at that. We're depleted, right? We still are down. Let's reiterate who we're still down. We're still down with Julius. We're still down Julius, even though there's some optimism as far as Julius is concerned, because we've seen him. Mm-hmm. We've seen that video of him doing little drills with like doing like suicide and little light drills. We've seen Mitch on the bench yesterday, right? Julius and Mitch was on the bench. OG Anunoby, they say is on schedule to come back. Mm-hmm. So, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Now, how Julius will react when he comes back is yet to see. Like in the thread the other day, Q was like, "Yo, that's not his shooting arm, right? Because he's a lefty. He hurt his right shoulder, right? That's not his shooting arm, so that's a good thing." I said, "Absolutely, that's a good thing." But as you know, when you're a lefty, you're dribbling with your left, and the way Julius likes to play, he likes to play bully ball. When he's posting up, he has that right shoulder bumping into dudes. Q, you can speak to this a little bit better than me. You've had this shoulder injury, but do you think that the physical bumping and physical, like getting beat up is gonna inhibit him when he comes back, or do you think that he'll be able to tough it out to the end of the season, maybe get that surgery and come back next year even stronger? What do you think?
I think he'll definitely be able to tough it out, man. These guys have, the top-notch trainers, man. Like, in whatever he's doing right now, he's definitely, if he's on schedule, that means everything he's doing is good and it's working. And it also gives me hope and optimism that it wasn't as bad as we all thought it was going to be. Because anybody hear about anything dislocating anything, it just sounds crazy, right? Like, damn, bro, like that means one bone came out of a socket and then had to go back in, bro. That shit is scary, because you break down your cartilage. But I think he might change up how he's doing it. I think it'll be interesting to see if he starts incorporating his spin move a little bit more when he starts coming back.
The Julius Randle spin cycle shit.
Like that'll be interesting to see. But he will feel it, because it's gonna, when you start back, these dudes, they muscle dudes. It's like you pressing your arm against the shoulder and you kind of ram in the door. Eventually, your shit's gonna get sore, and it's also gonna be sore in the very beginning anyway, because now he's not used to all this physicality. Because when you're in therapy and you're practicing, You ain't pushing it to 120%. You just giving it whatever you think you could give it because you're in that moment. But when you're in that moment during the game, that's when we're really gonna see, all right, what can he really do? How long is it really gonna take him to knock the dust off? And does he have trust? And his left arm, we already know he really can't even dribble that way. So is he going to just strictly stay right? Like now we're going to have to see how teams are going to play him. Like they might even start doubling him when, you know what I mean, whenever he gets down there in the low post, and you know, because they're going to know, you know what I mean, like the teams ain't stupid.
You know, hey, before I go to you, because I want to ask you this, the Knicks, what I've noticed about the Knicks is that, you know, before these guys went down, they were competing against the elite teams. You know, they might have not won all the games against the elite teams, you know, Boston and stuff, but they were competing. Now, since we've come back from the All-Star break, we've played the Rockets, beat them by 2 points. That was that crazy. No, excuse me. They beat us by 2 points. That was that bullshit Phantom Jalen Brunson call shit, right? Got smacked by the Magic by 18, right? A good team, right? We're going to agree Magic is a good team in the East, right?
Yeah.
Beat the depleted 76ers, right? So without Joel Embiid. So like I said, we're beating up on bad teams and not, you know, playing well against the good teams. Then we played the Celtics, got smacked basically. Then we turned around and played Detroit, right? Where we got that call back. You know, Monty Williams over there crying and shit. We got the call back from Houston. The league owed us that. So stop fucking crying, man. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know what I mean? No crying in basketball. And then yesterday we played the Pelicans, right? And we got smacked by the Pelicans. But yo, listen, the Pelicans are hot right now. Pelicans are playing good basketball right now. They started the season a little shaky. Brandon Ingram in and out the fucking game with that ankle. He tweaked that ankle again yesterday. He had 24. Zion. I want to get into Zion after this. Zion had 21. Trey Murphy, 26. You know, they was playing good ball. We were depleted. We just couldn't deal with them. We had no real go-to get a bucket down the stretch and make some stops, which is confusing because that's what these Tom Thibodeau teams are based on. Ed, how long do you think we can stay afloat playing ball like this where we're only able to beat up and barely beat up, because we only beat Detroit by, I think, like 2 points?
Yep.
2 points.
2 points. How long do you think we can stay afloat beating these bad teams barely and then losing to these good teams before we start to lose position in the East? What's your opinion on that?
Man, I'm going to be honest. It's hype. You know, I was on the hype train when it came to the Knicks, but it's looking very bad because, look, last night we lost Hartenstein again. I mean, not last night, but he didn't check in the game last night because of his Achilles. He's been in and out the lineup since his Achilles disease. And now you got Jalen Brunson going through these cervical spasms. You know what I mean? And his ankle. It's so much going on. I mean, it's like you said, we barely beat the Pistons, and we was going to lose that game. They were up by 1. We got lucky because of that no call. You know, I just got to be honest. That was a no call. You know, but I'll take it. That's like you said. That's I'll call back from the Houston game.
Right, no doubt.
You know, with Randall being out, you know, him going through his rehab, and his goal is to come back this season. OG coming back in 2-3 weeks, and Mitch, you know, he's hitting his checks, but you know he's been dealing with the foot injury for his entire career. I don't know how long the Knicks could hold up and still be a top tier team right now. Like, you know, at the end of January, we all jumped out the window. The whole New York City jumped out the window. But right now it's difficult. Like, all right, since the All-Star break, we 2-2. Now we play the last game of February tomorrow, Thursday. We play the Warriors. The Warriors, they're a streaky team. They just got back Chris Paul. They could come out and spank us. And then you know, opening up March, we play the Cavs, we play the Hawks, the Magic, the Sixers twice. You know what I mean? That's a tough stretch for us the next couple of games. And to be honest, I maybe give the Knicks maybe 2 games out of the next 6-7 games I just mentioned. I could give them like two W's right there. It's gonna be hard to watch because I don't know why. Well, what we did to the basketball gods, but they're really hating us right now, man. The last 10, we 3-7. You know, we just came off a high where we was 14-2 the month of January. Now with all these injuries piling up and it's getting worse. Man, I don't know, man. I don't know. We still can hang on, but I feel like they could probably fall to a play-in team. But if we stay in the top 5 and we don't make a playoff team and everybody comes in healthy, we're gonna be a tough team. We're gonna be a tough team to beat. It's gonna be a tough out. But let's see how these injuries, man. How we gonna manage these injuries, man? It's very scary right now. Scary hours right now for the Knicks, and not scary hours in a good way.
Great way to put it. Great way to put it. You know, we had that great one. We said we was 14-2.
14-2 month of January.
14-2. That is kind of keeping us in position because where are we at in the East? We're
fourth place.
11 games over 500, right?
And second in the Atlantic Division.
Second in the Atlantic Division. Now, if there's that 14-2 is imperative because God knows where we would have been. You know what I'm saying? And that seeding is going to be very important because right now Cleveland has number 2. That number 2 spot is vital. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to see the Bucks of these dudes to later on. You don't want to draw these dudes first.
Yes.
But check this out. If there's a silver lining in this whole thing, I'd have to say it's the playing time that the young kids are getting, man. You know what I'm saying? They're getting valuable playing time. The role players, you know what I'm saying? What's the saying with the role players? You know, they always play hot at home, and when they go on the road and play, especially in the playoffs, you know, it's not as comfortable and they're sleeping in their own bed. They don't always play as well. Precious Achua playing great ball. Shout out to Precious Achua. But the guys like Jericho Sims, Alec Burke, who's still getting acquainted back into our system, even though he is a Tom Thibodeau guy. Miles McBride is playing valuable minutes. We're going to need him down the stretch. Josh Hart, as always, we can count on him. We already know what it is. But those type of guys, Jericho Sims, your boy, those type of players are getting valuable minutes, and we're going to need that. Shout out to Bojan Bogdanovic. It seems like he's getting acclimated to the system. Had a really good game last night, even though he drives me crazy because the nigga be dribbling.
He can't dribble for his shit, bro. He can't dribble for his life, man, yo.
But he's aggressive. He goes to the rack a little bit better than I thought. You know what I'm saying? And he can shoot. So I think once he gets fully comfortable, he's a defensive liability. But once I think he gets fully comfortable, I think we're going to see some big games out of Bojan Bogdanovic. What you guys thoughts on that?
I agree. I mean, but it's like I was just saying, if we have a full lineup, we're a deadly team because we got shooters, we got guys that pause, penetrate to the hole. We got guys that can rebound.
Hey yo,
we got guys that can rebound all around. We got a well-structured bench, full of depth, and our starting 5 at full strength. It's one of the best starting 5s in the league. You know what I mean? So let's see, man. I'm just hoping for the best, man. But I like Boggs. I like Bogdan, and I love Burks. I always loved Burks. I was happy that he came back on board. I loved him. He was the best player we had in the Atlanta Hawks series. You know what I mean? When he was with us, when we were playing the Hawks, he was literally our best player. You know what I mean? Because Julius was like, well, yo, where's Julius at? So I don't know. We just got to do it up. Yo, shout out to Josh Hart though. He's holding it down. He's not even a scorer like that. He's averaging 15, 46 from the field. That's big. Averaging 8.2 rebounds, 4.2 assists, 2 steals a game. Come on now. He's still working on his 3-pointer. That's the only bad thing about him. He's at 34%. But yo, he's balling right now, and Vincenzo too. He's up to 19 points a game, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Yeah, 2 steals a game, 42% from the field, 41 from 3. And Q mentioned it yesterday in the thread. We were talking about Fournier, that he's the number 1 leader in a season by the Knicks in threes. Vincenzo could pass that this year. That's how hot he's been from 3. That's just my opinion, but he's been hot lately, man. The Knicks, man.
But he be also chucking it up, man. Look, yo,
he shoots a lot, but we need
we need
to shoot now more because of all the all our main guys are injured. So we're asking him to do a little bit more.
But I think it has to be.
Shout out to G.
I think it has to be a little bit of both. Word. Shout out to G. I think it has to be a little bit of both because I feel like we're shooting too many threes. I know we're a team that can shoot threes, right? Because we know we could transition the ball. But I think that's when we have our whole team on the court, our starting lineup. Even if Mitchell Robinson's not there, but we need Randall and we need OG. We need them to be some type of part because that's when people were getting open. We got a lot of moving pieces right now. Yo, there hasn't been now one game in the last 3 games that the Knicks have shot over 40%. We shot 38 and below. Last night we shot 30%, and the Pelicans shot 50%. Every team is shooting. Every team is shooting over 44%. So there's two things we're not doing. We're not defending the three ball, and we're not making it in our three ball. So that and the way that the Knicks are playing right now, we're the definition of how the NBA changed. We're living and we're dying by the three.
Yes.
We need to find a make away adjustments, get to the ball. I'd rather take an easy two or a foul or an easy jumper than just chucking that shit because we need to, because we're playing from behind. Like that, and that's the shit that kind of pisses me off. But I can't get them wrong, because that's what we need in this place right now. We do need the threes. I understand that, but somebody has to step up and be like, yo, bro, somebody got to cut to the basket. Somebody got to do something, because I can't just sit here and we shooting 43 threes and only making 13 of them. Like that's
14 for 46, 30% from the field.
That's crazy that I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, Cash, but that's crazy that he's talking about that, because I'm looking at the team rankings right now. We 14th in 3-point percentage. And in field goal percentage, we all the way down to 23. That's how bad we've been playing. The only good thing that's been keeping us in games is our rebounds. We second in the league still in offensive rebounds, fifth in rebounds in total. You know what I mean? 19 in points. You know, so that's the only thing that's keeping us in is our rebounding. Like, we're a very well built team to rebound. Look, if you look down the line, everybody can look at Josh Hart. He's like one of the smallest guys on the team. He's what, 6'5", 6'4", and he's averaging 8 right now. So, you know, that's the only thing that's keeping us in games right now. I agree. The volume of the 3-pointers, even though we, like I said, we 14th in the league, they need to slow that down. That's the way the game is heading. So, you know, and what G's saying, I agree with G. And I've been saying it for a while. Tibbs is running all these players down to the ground, man. He's grinding them. No pause. He's grinding them down to the ground, man, down to the gristle, man. Like, we need to give those guys a break. I think he should play more in some games, in certain situations. Play a little bit Jacob Toppin. Play. We got that other kid, Dwayne Washington Jr. Play those guys a little bit more. Give those guys a rest, man.
Yeah, it's just like, you see what's scary about doing that is because Tibbs wants to. I can't blame him for this, but I can kind of blame him for this, you know, because he should be doing that in a small situation. But then you also only allowed so many substitutions. So even when you do want to do a substitution, you could be up by 10, but some shit could happen where now you're only up by 2 or it's a tie game. Are you gonna bring in Topping in a tie game and sit down Precious Achua, you know what I mean? Or somebody like, I'm not doing that. Like, we need somebody on there to put some pressure on these guys who really know the system and actually could do something, because the Knicks right now, they're not playing Nick Ball. Let's keep it a buck. There's too many turnovers. We're committing too many fouls against the teams. Yo, when is like, it was very rare that the teams would shoot more foul shots than the Knicks. It was always the Knicks that would shoot more foul shots, and then they would shoot at a bullshit percentage. Whether we lose by 2 points is because we fucking probably missed like 9 of our free throws. You know, and now our turnovers, like how many turnovers we've been averaging the last 3 games? Probably like 12, 13, 14.
13.3.
Yo, shout out to Justin. What's the name? How you pronounce that?
Bissell, my boy Justin Bissell.
Yeah, shout out to thanks for checking in. G just texted me any do in the chat. Hey, yo, big pause. Penetrating the hole is crazy.
That's what we do. That's what we do. We penetrate the hole. That's what we do.
Let me just add this, and I want to take our last point of reference, which was last night's game, right? Against a good team, right? And we said, you know, they started the season a little shaky, but they're starting to really come together. But you guys had alluded to some of these stats, man. We talked about the 3-pointers, 14 for 46, right? 30.4. That's way below under our average, right? Yeah. Free throws, 16 for 23, 69%. You're not going to beat teams shooting 69% with free throws. Total offensive rebounds, 38 to 44. You know, when Mitch comes back, Julius comes back. Julius is rebounding the ball very well before he got hurt this year. He's rebounding, and he normally rebounds the ball. He's good for 10 boards. Defensive rebounds, 25 to 34. They beat us in every statistical category. We had him by 4 points in assists, 5 block steals, turnovers 11. They had more turnovers. That was crazy. But points in the paint 34. So they basically beat us up in almost every statistical category. Now, mind you, I get it. We have to take that with a grain of salt because we do have our big dogs out. No Brunson, no Julius. Right? No Mitchell Robinson. He's been gone the whole year. 3 huge pieces. Pause. You know what I'm saying?
And no OG.
And no OG.
4 huge pieces. Basically, our whole starting fucking lineup is gone. But I wanted to sit. I don't want to be all over
That's
the place.
crazy.
I don't want to be too messy. But this is like a fucking buffet today. We're just gonna talk whatever, right?
Yeah.
DiVincenzo, you know, who Q said that he's shooting a little too much, whatever he said. My thing with him is, yo, he's been our saving grace thus far.
Hell
Him
yeah.
and Josh Hart, you know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Obviously Jalen Brunson, but I'm talking about outside our main players.
Yes.
Diva was a steal. What did he get signed for? Did he get signed for the veterans minimum?
50 mil, son. Did he get 50
how many
mil?
years? 3 year
I think
deal?
it's 3 or 4 years, if I'm not mistaken. I read 4.
Bruh, how niggas ain't have DiVincenzo starting on another team? We
Yo.
got our backcourt right now.
Million, that
is
would have been
fucking
crazy.
bargain basement prices for our starting fucking backcourt. Jalen Brunson and DiVincenzo.
And look at the system.
Was balling.
And look at the system he came from. They even spoke about that on ESPN. He came from that Warrior system. I mentioned it a couple episodes back. He learned how to shoot better from the greatest shooter in basketball right now, Stephen Curry. When you learn from a guy like that, that's a plus for us coming over here and incorporating that. Like, you know, even if you look at you know what I mean? Like his shot is way much better now with the Knicks.
You in the Matrix.
Yeah, you're in the Matrix right now, bro.
There we go.
I was what? I was
can't come back. Yeah, you stuttering right now. Yo, you were looking like Ace
Ventura. You just froze. Like, you good now. You good.
Right. What's the last thing you heard me say?
We heard you just froze.
Yeah, we heard you just froze.
Did I look good though?
No, you didn't.
I normally don't when I freeze. Fucking yeah, but Vincenzo, man, he was a steal. We got a lot of guys right now on the team right now on very friendly bargains. We always say Jalen Brunson steal on a friendly bargain. Now we got DiVincenzo, Josh Hartenstein re-signed with us on a friendly deal. We gotta fucking give Hartenstein the bag too. If he comes back healthy next year, we need him to be on this squad for a championship run. Like, he is great on this team, great for New York City, great team guy, great energy. Like, one of the best backup centers that in the league that you see when he starts, you know, he does what he has to do for us. So you know what I mean?
I've been sipping the last 4 hours, G. Word up.
Yeah, but hold on, yo, we re-signed Hartenstein?
Didn't we extended him? We extended him, didn't we? Coming into the season, didn't we extend? Not Hartenstein, Josh Hart. Josh Hart. My fault.
Okay.
Yeah, but we need the Hart Foundation on. We need both of them. We need the Hart Foundation on that next team.
Word
bro.
up, man.
We need everybody we got right now.
Let the main players rest and finish the season. Here's my problem with that, G.
Oh man,
you gotta rest them, right? And I agree with that, but you gotta hopefully they heal, and you gotta hopefully hope that they heal and you are able to come back by the time that they can shake the rust off and get that continuity and cohesiveness before the playoffs start and get hot again. You know what I'm saying? Because if you wait too long and bring it back and they're all rusty, because basketball is a rhythm sport. If you don't, that's like reps. If you don't have enough reps, you know, you're gonna be cold. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with you, but the timing is key. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta hope everyone heals up and comes back in time, rest, but comes back in time where they can, you know, like I said, get that rhythm back. You know what I'm saying?
I don't feel like we should throw in the towel. I feel like we should just play, you know, and make sure we just stay in the top 5. If we stay in the top 5, that we could, you know, get a playoff advantage right there. Who's fourth right now? Philly. You know what I mean? Philly. If Philly's healthy, all right, that's gonna be tough. But if Milwaukee falls down to 4 and we stay 5, I feel like we could beat Milwaukee. They're in disarray right now. Coaching, you know, their vibe is not right. You know, Damian
Doc
Lillard
looking
crying.
crazy.
Doc looking crazy. Giannis is being a little crybaby. Even Damian Lillard, he's never been a complaining type of player, and now he's on the Bucks. He's been complaining. I get it. He wants a high expectation for Milwaukee. But come on now, like, you never heard that dude complaining in the Blazers, and he's been on some bad Blazer teams. But you know, I feel like we could beat them. Philly. I don't want to see Philly.
Yeah, he's even complaining. Damian Lillard is even complaining about being in Milwaukee in general, not even on the team.
You know, he wanted to go to Miami. He wanted to go because Bam is his guy. Him and Bam are best friends. He wanted to go to Miami. He said, "Fuck it." You know what? I couldn't force my way out to Miami. Pat Riley didn't have the correct pieces, and we're digressing a little bit from the Knicks, but he didn't have the pieces. Okay, I'll take Giannis. I'll take going to the Bucks. They're a perennial playoff team. Obviously, you have one of the best players in the game, and Giannis there. Giannis is acting a little goofy this year, but Giannis is Giannis. He's a former MVP.
Sure.
Dame, I think the problem with Dame is, you remember when Miami, when Bosh, LeBron, and Wade got together. Well, Wade was already there, but they all got together that year. The year the Heatles, remember 2020 the Heatles,
2011,
right? That shit was a movie when they got cooking. But before that, they started off very bad, man. They didn't gel. A lot of people think that Dame Time lost a step. I don't think he lost a step. I think they're trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Doc coming in mid-season. You know, everybody's shitting on Doc, and Doc is a little crazy. Doc do be passing the buck a little bit. I do be noticing that. He be passing the buck a little bit. But I think you got to give them a little bit more grace. Hopefully, Doc can get them a little more sound defensively because that's the knock on them. And hopefully they get a little bit more time to gel. You know what I'm saying? So and losing Drew Holiday was fucking insane.
Oh, man.
But that fucked their whole shit up, to be honest with you.
So you see how they're in disarray? If the Knicks meet them in the playoffs in the first round, we could get past the Bucks with all that disarray. If we healthy, forget about it. Forget about it. We can. That's an easy second round pass for us.
Quest said he good. Quest said he on good next. What you mean, G? We put that back in. Then he says, Quest said Ragu should come off the bench. You think that?
I think when
did you say? You said that today?
We said that a while ago.
I was talking. I said that a while ago, but I was talking to G on the phone. But I think when we're fully healthy, I think Ragu and I think Hart need to come off the bench along with.
So who's going to start at shooting guard?
Let me ask you this: Why? Because you think he's not a starter, or you think we need a punch coming off the bench?
I think we need that punch. We need that quickly.
Who's the two?
He's that quickly.
Bogdan?
I don't. I would rather start over Bogdan because I think he throws it off a little bit weird because you know why? He has like a weird style. So and we know he's always just going to be lining. He just needs to do what he needs to do.
Bogdan is nice, some screens. Defensive liability.
I know, but he needs to throw the screens, and then he needs to and he needs to just get to that 3-point. That's it. Bogdan's job is easy. We need DiVincenzo to come in on that second team with Josh Hart. But remember, just because he's coming off the bench doesn't mean he's always going to be playing with the second string. There's gonna be times where he's playing with Randall, but that's how you confuse the team and the schemes. I just think it's gonna throw people off when they're like, damn, this motherfucker's coming in now. Damn, I gotta bring this dude out from the bench. He might be a little bit tired. You're gonna fuck people up because they're gonna have to defend him, and they know he's gonna shoot the three. They know he's gonna play defense. They know if a ball just comes scrambling out of nowhere, he's gonna run for the rest of his life to try to go and grab it and save it. Like, you know, he plays. But I think that coming off the bench, that's our 6th man of the year. Like, without a doubt, if he was to be on the bench, I think next year he's the 6th man of the year without a doubt.
You know, I agree 100%. I feel like Vincenzo should come off. The only thing I'm going to switch it up. I feel like Burks should be our starting shooting guard. He's already familiar with the system. He's another ball handler.
He's a combo guard. Yeah,
he's a combo guard. You know, and I feel like he'll fit better coming in the starting lineup. And you bring a Bogdanovich off the bench with a Vincenzo, with a Josh Hart. He'll gel well with them. You saw that in a couple of stretches during the game against Detroit, and even last night a little bit. You see he gels with those two guys a little bit better while they're on the court. So imagine them coming off the bench together. Man, with Hartenstein, you know how I mean. Hartenstein, for a big man, crazy vision. So those 4 guys off the bench alone, that ain't nobody fucking with that bench, man. Ain't nobody fucking with that bench.
I agree. And it sucks because it's like almost saying the same thing that we wanted quickly. We wanted quickly to start, but like DiVincenzo has a spot in this team, like if he wants to start or not. But I would just see it more. I think it's going to be more of a threat if he were to come off the bench. Because, but obviously, you know, there's a lot of politics involved, man. Like, so if he wanted to start, obviously we give it to him, and Alex Burke and, you know, the rest of the guys, Bogdanovich and McBride and all these other niggas got to come up. That's what's gonna happen. Yeah, but you know, what I mean,
Burke has been a little disappointing since he's been back, but we're gonna give him a little bit of time.
Yeah, only team I see that we can't, you know, we can't beat to G's point is the Boston Celtics. That's the only team. They like in a different foot race from everybody else in the East.
Even if we're healthy?
Even if we healthy, if we meet in the Eastern Conference Finals, of course I'm gonna go for us, but they're gonna be a very challenging team. Because if you look at their starting squad right now, those 4 guys they got on their starting squad, you know, you keep your 2 top guys, then you add a Drew Holiday and a KP, you know, you add a defensive guard and you add a stretch big that can rebound and block now. Like, you know, he's playing better defensively since you know, he was a soft ass motherfucker with us, you know, and the other teams he was. That's difficult to beat. You know what I mean? Like he could.
White is playing good ball. A lot better ball.
Yeah,
than he
Derek
played
White.
last
I
year.
forget about Derek White coming from Pop's system. You know what I mean? Very intellectual ball player, high IQ.
They got a nice team. I don't trust Tatum in big spots. I don't know why.
Oh, I mean, he be disappearing.
You know what I mean? Since we're talking about that, we're gonna get into some Giants shit. We haven't talked Giants in a minute. For all my Jets fans, we'll be back on Friday talking Jets. But let me ask you this: who in the East, other than the Celtics, kind of scare you?
Let me see. I'll be honest.
I'm gonna say Cleveland. Even though we beat them last year, they're hot this year, bro.
But remember last year they were hot too. They were hot too.
Bigs was beating their bigs up pretty good, and they lack a little bit of size. You know, Jared Allen. Even though Jared Allen's pretty good defensively, Evan Mobley, but
he's been hurt.
Darius Garland is back. Donovan doing his thing. You saw last night Max Strus hit that big time game winner. Cleveland is hot. There's no denying that. Now, can we beat them again? I think with full strength. Yes, but we have to be full strength to beat Cleveland, in my opinion. That's one team I'm worried about. Who else?
Listen, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut nobody off, but to jump on the Cleveland thing, we're not even that far back from Cleveland. We've been playing so bad compared to Cleveland. We're not even that far back. They 38 and 19,
spicy tonight.
And we're 35. We're 35 and 24. You know what I mean? So I don't feel like I don't fear Cleveland. I don't feel Milwaukee. Miami is always there because Miami and the Knicks they always seem to play good together against each other. Rather, Philly is a team at full strength. I could be a little bit scared of them, and I'll be honest. Orlando and Indiana, those are the only teams I say could give a Knicks challenge in the playoffs. Besides Boston.
Yo, G, you want to hear some fucking some Clyde shit, man? Bounding and astounding, swishing and dishes, swooping and hooping, posting and Ellison, razzle down. You know what I'm saying? Like he be saying some, Clyde be saying some crazy shit.
Shout out to Clyde, man, legend right there, boy.
Love me some Clyde, man. Shout out to Clyde.
But listen,
OG.
I don't think we need to finish second. I just think we can't finish below third. That's right now. Like if we could finish at least third, we're in a good spot because I predicted we're like one of the top 3 best teams in the NFC East anyway. But we could get second. But we could get second. But I'm telling you right now, our schedule is looking. But the next worst team that we play that's bad was just is the Blazers. And then after that, we have to play I think the Kings and then the Warriors again. And then after that, then we play.
We play the Nuggets.
Then the Nuggets. Like we got
the Nets, Pistons, Raptors,
and then we get the Nets. Like you know what I mean? Like we don't have, and the Nets can ball too. So it's like, our next, like it's gonna be very pinnacle if we can have our starting lineup play by mid to late March, and we have this team that we're playing with right now. It's going to be a very, very bad March. It's going to be a very, very bad March. And the last thing we need to do is go 2-16 because that 14-2 just wiped away, bro.
Hell yeah. Shit. It's like I was telling you we got on. We going to the next game on March 8th against the Magic. And I was hoping everybody will be back or we be at full strength for that game. But we've been struggling against the Magic all year. I feel like we can't beat the Magic at all this year. I think they're 3-0 against us this year, or 2-0, something like that. I don't even know the full. Let me see.
Look, we just need I'm optimistic. I'm a Knicks fan, but we just something. The basketball guys got to give us somebody back.
I'm okay with where we are because I can understand that this is due to injury. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, of course.
You can't. So I'm not gonna jump out the window or jump off the building on some bullshit. I know we need to heal and hopefully, prepare for the worst, wish for the best. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. But let's say we don't get all the way where we need to be. I'm confident with Leon Rose. I'm confident with Tom Thibodeau, even though I do think he needs to relax a little bit with the minutes they play. But he did turn his team around. They both turned his team around. So I'm confident with them. I do believe we're going to make a move in the offseason. So I never thought we win a championship this year. I do want to get past the second round. That would be great. And then we'll take it from there, man. I think next year and the year after is probably the window where we could probably win a championship. I was skeptical about Leon Rose, but he's proved me wrong. You know what I'm saying? CAA Mafia in the building. Let's talk about it.
It's crazy how we talking about you talking about already next year. When a couple of weeks ago we were talking about next year. We were talking about this year.
But I never thought they were going to win the championship this year.
I was saying at least Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah,
that was the goal for
that's
this
the
team
goal,
for me.
fully healthy, right? But we'll see. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully they come back healthy. And, and then, like I said, the timing is everything. Remember when the Giants won the Super Bowl in 07? They got hot at the right time. Did we peak too early? Let's see. I don't know. We need them to come back and have the chance to gel. Julius has to reacclimate himself to that lineup, reacclimate himself to playing with OG. I think they only played a couple of games together, right? We got to get everyone on the same page. Burks is here. Bogdan never played with Julius or play with OG Anunoby. So key pieces have to learn how to play with each other. They got to know where their spots are on the court, where they like the ball at. It's a whole process, man. It's just it's a cohesiveness, man. Basketball is just not throw the best 5 guys together and which are the best. Doesn't work like that. Maybe in pickup basketball, but not in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Are we good on the Knicks?
Yeah.
Yeah, we good on the Knicks, man.
Let's talk some Giants football, man. We haven't talked Giants football in a minute, man.
Man.
I have a couple of clips I want to play. Okay, so look, there haven't been any moves made. We know the combine starts tomorrow, right? Football's been a little bit dead after the Super Bowl. Everyone's kind of behind closed doors trying to clean the salary cap situations up. People are getting ready to make moves in free agency, right? We've seen a couple of people already got tagged. T. Higgins. I'm a little disappointed. I've been campaigning for fucking T. Higgins for 2 fucking years.
Oh yeah.
We knew that. We kind of knew, even though he was a restricted free agent. He was able to be tagged. Okay, let's see what we can do. We'll see if we can go out and get maybe a Michael Pittman Jr. or somebody else for free agency. But like I said, the combine is start. Huh?
Calvin Ridley,
somebody like that.
Oh,
the combine
shit,
starts tomorrow. Yeah, he's out there. Speculation for the Jets. But the combine is out starting tomorrow. Joe Shane was actually up there and he addressed the media. I want to play a bunch of clips from him talking about the Giants because we have some question marks. We have Saquon Barkley question mark. Xavier McKinney. And we'll get into all of that. But I want to first start. The first clip I want to play is him talking about Daniel Jones. Check this out, and then we're going to react to these. Let's go.
Daniel Haraka.
What is your faith in Daniel?
I have faith in Daniel.
You signed him.
I have faith in Daniel as our starting quarterback.
As far as, is the bar for a starting quarterback, can he get you to a Super Bowl and win it? And if that's the bar, is that still the bar you have for Daniel?
Say it again.
Is the bar for your starting quarterback, can he get us to a Super Bowl?
Yeah, that's the ultimate goal for everybody, is to win a Super Bowl. So we want to win a Super Bowl. It's not one position. You got to build a good team. You got to have surrounding parts. There's a lot of good quarterbacks that haven't won Super Bowls. So you got to have a good team. So it's not just the quarterback position. I understand your question, but I think you got to continue to build a team around the quarterback, and it's an important position. But I think you got to build the pieces around him on both sides of the ball and all 3 phases.
When you hear that, my first reaction is he being media savvy or is he talking some real shit? We don't know. Joe Shane's a pretty smart guy. He has media training, obviously. He's not going to give away the fucking game plan. You know what I'm saying? Now, you're not going to show your hand before the draft. But this is a reoccurring theme that, you kind of hear Dable speak on this. We know that John Mara loves Daniel Jones, right? He said this in the past. He feels that Daniel Jones wasn't given a fair shot with the offensive line being in shambles. They kind of hindered the development, and he's referenced kind of like the Jets did with Sam Darnold and Zach Wilson. When you hear that, what does that sound like to you? Does it sound like they're gonna look at Daniel Jones still the long-term option, or is that just misdirection and they're getting ready to make a move on another quarterback next year? What do you think? Ed, talk to me.
Man, it could be both ways. It could be, gaslighting. He could, like you said, media savvy, politically correct, just giving the media what they should hear, well, not what we want to hear as fans. to be honest, I'm off the Daniel Jones train. Like I'm over him already.
Me too.
You know, as much as I came in with with you guys onto the show, Vanilla Vic and everything, giving him a shot. You know, I understand ACL injury, blah blah blah, but I'm over
that O-line.
You know, that O-line. But I'm over him already. I heard that they would, they're very heavy on the kid, Jaden Daniels, the Heisman winner. They've been keeping an eye on him. They want to move up in the draft. They're looking at this kid, what's his name? Drake May. Who knows? They might get him. They were looking at this kid, the quarterback that won the college final, the Michigan kid. I forgot his name, McCarthy. So, I just feel like Shane is just, giving the media what they want to hear, sugarcoating shit, being like you said, media savvy, media trained, But I feel like that's just a bunch of crock of bullshit. You know what I mean? I feel like he's probably over Daniel Jones too, and wants to bring in his own guy. Him and David want to bring in his own people and start their system, getting all these Gettleman guys out of here.
Q, what do you think?
I hearing Joe Shane right now, I think he has no faith in Daniel Jones. Yo, he asked him to repeat the question, and before he asked him to do that, he stuttered even answering it. He media trained, but like, yo, like when you're being direct and you know what you want to say, and when you fully wholeheartedly believe in somebody that they're the best. I've dealt with people who thought the worst rapper in the fucking world was the best rapper, and when I asked them a question, he didn't have that. He had hesitation, which means that deal that you gave homeboy was not that great, and I agree too, and we saw why. It's not. Like,
I disagree. I think it was a great deal. I think it was a great deal. He paid under market value, and there was an escape hatch. It was a trap door that allowed him to get out of the contract.
I forgot after the 2 years, which was smart, and nobody, but because they're looking at him to see, hey, can you do this for the next 2 years? Because if you can't, then what are you gonna do? Like, granted, people don't understand that we have to spend that money anyway, but I feel like if this is a testing moment for Daniel Jones, if Daniel Jones don't show through and through, it's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem quick for him because number one, like we always say, and Cash know it too, he does not throw the ball. Like he said, you need to build a team around a great quarterback or just a quarterback in general. Like Eli Manning had good teams around him, but he very rarely had a Hall of Fame running back. He had which Saquon Barkley could have been. He didn't really have any Hall of Fame wide receivers. He didn't have no Hall of Fame tight end. His O-line was shitty, but you know what? And the reason why I love Eli Manning, because you know what he did that other quarterbacks don't do or usually do and doesn't do what Daniel Jones does? He throws the ball down there and he has faith and whoever's going to catch it, because that's what needs to happen. You have to have faith in your players. Daniel Jones doesn't have it. He doesn't have those quick reads. He doesn't have those surveying the whole field real quick.
I agree with that.
And that's what we need to happen. Like if you're not willing as a quarterback to take a risk, because not only are your teammates, that's in your arm. We know he got an arm. So what? Now you don't feel like you're accurate. I think he's processing way too much, and it's becoming too much for him. I don't know if New York is the right spot for him. He might be better in a state where people don't fucking hound their fans and expect you to be greatness. But even when you're low, you're low. But like he's just been like this from the get. He has too many high and lows, bro. We don't need a Richter scale, bro.
Yeah, word.
Oh, Eli Manning always gave us this. And eventually he'll give us that, and it'll go that, but it always was a streamline. Daniel Jones is just, what are you giving us? Like you're just showing us more true of yourself, and I don't think that shows confidence in the teams. That can show these guys are the leaders. Doesn't show confidence in the locker room, and and that's what as a man, and that's what I'm saying. That him hearing that conversation, we know they're looking for a quarterback. He just answered the question perfectly, but he hesitated. So that's the buck. That's what they're going to do. And they know that's the right thing to do too, because we need somebody else to come behind. Tommy DeVito's not going to do it. Tyrod Taylor's not going to be the savior. We need somebody to pick up the slack.
Well, we do know that Daniel Jones. Sorry, go.
No, they've been even talking about QB swaps. I read a report like a couple of days ago. Even now, I'm looking at it again. They were talking about swapping him and Deshaun Watson. If they're talking about QB swaps, then they gave up on him. Even though it could be bullshit news.
There's no way. The Giants ain't gonna take on all that money. Giants ain't taking on all that to show that. He got insane guaranteed contract. There's no way they're taking on that. That's all crap. Whoever said that shit is bugging. But we do know this. We do know that we don't know. We can't predict the future, but we can predict the near future, for lack of a better way to put it, that Daniel Jones will be here next year.
Unfortunately.
Now I want to play this clip, another clip from Joe Shane talking about the timeline of his return and maybe some of the other options that could be available. Check this out, then I want you guys' thoughts.
Better indication at this point, Daniel, with his progress of when he's going to be back, or I know you said
so he actually started
throwing.
Yeah, Jordan, he actually started throwing. He's been throwing for about 2 weeks stationary now. He's not dropping back or doing any of that stuff. So he is on track. He's doing everything he can to get back. We're optimistic about where he is, and there's some talk in the spring that he may be able to go through, whether it's 7-on-7 or individual, throwing routes on air, that he'll be able to do some of that stuff. We probably won't expose him to team activities, but every patient responds differently to surgery. So, knock on wood, we haven't had any setbacks. He hasn't had any setbacks, and if he continues on that pace, he should be ready for the start of training camp.
So it looks like Daniel Jones will be back in training camp. I expect him to be the starter next year. Joe also alluded to it. I don't have this clip. He also alluded to they're going to talk to Tyrod. So Tyrod is possible. I thought that Tyrod wouldn't be back, but it's possible he will be back. He said he also spoke with Daniel Jones, and they kind of let him know we will be exploring other options at quarterback, not necessarily as a starter, but a backup. But so we're going to see, basically what I'm trying to say is we're going to see Daniel Jones. He's going to be the starter, I believe, next year. And I think in the future, I don't think they're going to go QB this year because I think that they have to build the rest of the team. I don't think they're going to go QB in the first round at the pick 6. You know what I'm saying? I think they're going to maybe a little further down, whatever the case may be, maybe addressing the free agency as a backup. But I think they're going to tighten up the rest of the team, right? Because we know they have O-line problems. They have playmaker problems at the receiver position. They got to shore up Xavier McKinney. He's a free agent. They got to figure out what's going on with Saquon Barkley. They probably got to replace Adoree Jackson on the other side of Deonte Banks. They need to see him develop. You know what I mean? So they have some question marks. They have question marks definitely at the O-line with Evan Neal. I think they need a right guard. I think I always say they should move Evan Neal, give him one more shot, move him with a right guard, and address the right tackle position.
I agree. Probably
in free agency, and maybe get an insurance policy and look for a right guard on the market. You know what I'm saying? Because Evan Neal is a bust. We'll see how we do if they move him over. But so there's a lot of question marks. We have a lot of holes to fill. You know what I'm saying? Pause. So we'll see what happens with that. Let's move on to Saquon Barkley because that's the question. As a Giants fan, I like to think I'm logical, but I get emotional. And Saquon Barkley is one of the people that I get emotional about. Yes. He's a Giant. We always say he's a local kid. He's a Jersey kid. Yeah. The tri-state area. If you're from out here, it's like the DMV, Virginia, DC, and Maryland. That's New York, Jersey, and Connecticut. Even though we're tribal in terms of like our geographical lines, we're all one, the tri-state area. You know what I'm saying? So we root for Saquon in our darkest days. As of recently, he was our shining light. So there's an emotional attachment from Giants fans. If you go to Giants games, all you see is 26 jerseys. Yes. I want to see him come back. Now, I don't know if the money he wants, I don't see us doing that. I don't see his franchise tagging him. But if I had to make the decision, I bring Barkley back. Like I said, it may not be a logical decision, but it's an emotional decision. But here's Joe Shane talking about possibly the future of Saquon Barkley.
Spot with Saquon because you went through so many rounds of negotiations, and you usually do that with a guy and be in the same spot the next year. How has his value changed in your mind from where you left it last July 15th, whatever that day was?
I wouldn't say his value has changed, especially to the organization. Like he's a captain, he's a leader, he's a hard worker. I think the world of Saquon, and I still think he can play. So my value for Saquon really hasn't changed. Unfortunately, throughout the process, starting back in November of 2022, we weren't able to come to an agreement in terms of where we both thought a deal made sense. So we'll circle back again. He has a new agent, Ed Berry, who we have a really good relationship with CAA, really good guy, and does a great job. So look forward to sitting down and having conversations with him. I think we've all grown, Saquon, myself, the organization, through the last 12, 13, 14 months, and Saquon may be in a different place now than he was then in terms of understanding the market and the business side of it, and I'm looking forward to having those conversations with him.
At television, when you hear that, what does that sound like to you?
I mean, it sounds like
sexy media talk. Does that sound like they possibly could bring him back?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like that putting him on a franchise tag for the second straight year is not clearly off the table yet. Possibility they won't, but it's a high possibility they can. He'll probably make like 12.1 million if they do resign him, because it's all depending on the NFL salary cap. I know they got like this whole salary cap structure thing going on in the NFL, if I'm not mistaken. So it looks like he trying to make it sexy, but it could be a possibility we bring back Saquon. Like, why not? He's been the highlight for us the last couple of seasons, injured or not. I feel like my personal opinion, they got to bring Saquon, man. They got to bring Saquon, especially with all that quarterback drama. They got to bring him back, and he sounded like he wants to bring him back. They're trying to work something out to bring him back.
Q, what you think?
No, I agree. I think hearing that kind of actually gives me a little bit of hope, because you always, you guys know my stand. I thought Saquon was out of here. Like I didn't have no faith of them even franchise tagging him, because I don't feel like that's the type of organization that does shit like that. Like let the guy go. Like if somebody wants to go, let him go and see where because he's gonna go somewhere.
Yeah,
he could go somewhere. He still has at least four prime years left. Three minimum. 3 prime years left, and those could all be 1,000-yard rushing years. But hearing him talk about it, and the key word of that conversation was his new agent and good relationship with him. So now, does that mean they're gonna probably throw some additional incentives? Like, I don't know what this deal is gonna look like. It might not look pretty money up front, but behind the behind the window, behind the what I mean,
back end,
the back end. Homie rush 1,000 yards, might get an extra 2 mil. You know what I mean? Like homie catches 45, 50, 60, 70 passes, might get an extra 600,000. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like with him, they're gonna make him earn the money, and which wouldn't be bad, because he plays at a high level caliber, and I think New York needs him.
Yes.
I think New York needs him. He's the only no homo, sexy thing. When you think about the Giants, you don't think about, what I mean? Like, the only other person after that is Kayvon Thibodeau. That's it.
Yeah.
Because and Dexter Lawrence. But people always misguide. They always jump over the hurdle of the defense, and they go, unless they're doing astronomically well. But the team got to be winning in order for the defense to get love. But in the offensively, it's always going to be either the quarterback, a wide receiver, or a running back. Let's keep it a buck, and I don't think franchising him is going to be a good idea. I don't think that just shows you're running a good organization, even though I know what they're trying to do, but you don't want to. Number one, you don't want to make the player feel like, damn, bro, you're keeping me here and I have nowhere else to go, even though he does. And I have options. Like, let me just go somewhere, or just give him what they could have gave him a little bit. I think they should have just overpaid for him by like maybe 2 mil a couple of years ago, just spending $6 million for these guys. Like, they could have paid Daniel Jones an extra $1.5 million less for those 4 years, and then probably got Saquon Barkley a contract.
Saquon Barkley is one of the premier running backs in football, no doubt about it. I would even not even jump out the window. I would even go as far as to say he's number 2 behind Christian McCaffrey. I had them neck and neck. I'm gonna give it to McCaffrey right now. However, there are a lot of running backs on the market, and this is like
a lot, man.
You are going to get what the market dictates, and every position is the same thing. When quarterbacks come up, they usually get a little bit more than the last guy got. Each guy continues to break the bank. The market for running backs, the price tag on the market for running backs is not that high, right? That's why we're having this running back problem. Look at the guys who've been. There's a report that came out, 2024 NFL franchise tag tracker, top running backs who will not be tagged. Giants, Saquon Barkley, obviously. They say that. Cowboys, Tony Pollard. Titans, Derrick Henry. Raiders, Josh Jacobs. Chargers, Austin Eckler. That's just a couple of the name off the top of my head. These guys are all prolific guys. Now, Derrick Henry, Not a great season, as great as a season as he normally has. Some think he might have fallen off just a touch. Still had a really good season. Austin Eckler, baller, right? My point is this: you can go through the draft and get a running back that's going to perform well. You know, I thought Eric Gray might be that guy. We don't know. He looks like he's better on special teams, but you know, and that's not a knock. He didn't blow my socks off, boss.
I bet he did.
But that's I paused it. But my point is, like, and I hate to say it like this, but running backs are a dime a dozen, man.
Yeah,
you know
unfortunately, especially in today's market.
Sentimental value has no place with these GMs and these agents. You know what I'm saying? So my gut feeling, I don't know why. My gut feeling says Saquon will. I'm going back and forth for this. Like, you know, Q was like, he won't be here. And I was like, yes, he will. Then I text you the other day, y'all, you know what? I think he might be right. I don't think he's going to be here. But my gut feeling says that they'll work out a deal because I think he wants to be here. You know what I'm saying? But I could be wrong. He might want to go somewhere else and compete for a ring. I got one last clip before we get out of here. This is Joe Shane talking about what I mentioned earlier about telling Daniel Jones that they will be looking for a quarterback either in a backup capacity or possibly a starting capacity. Check this out.
You talked to Daniel about what your plans might be at quarterback in terms of adding somebody and potentially, will he be sort of in the loop at all on that?
Yeah, Daniel's been in there every day. He's been working hard. We've had good conversations, and he understands where we are. He understands that we're going to need to add a quarterback. He's coming off an injury. Tommy DeVito's under contract, and Daniel. So we'll bring in either a veteran quarterback through free agency, and that, you know, Tyrod's in the mix there too. We're going to talk to Tyrod's representatives this week, and Tyrod's a true pro. He's been really good for not only Daniel but, you know, Tommy DeVito and his progress throughout the year. He's a true pro. So we'll address the position. Again, it can be through free agency, and it doesn't preclude us from doing it in the draft as well.
Joe Shane is a slick talking motherfucker, man. He's like the Derek Jeter of fucking GMs. Remember how Derek Jeter wouldn't give you shit after the game, motherfucker? Had a script he would go by. You know what I'm saying?
He out here really polying on niggas.
He knows how to talk, man. He's a very polished fucking GM in terms of not, you know, showing his hand, man. He has a poker face on at all times. He says a lot of words, but they're hollow words, they're empty fucking words.
Yes.
I wouldn't mind Tyrod Taylor coming back. I think he's a solid pro. I think he possibly could be the best backup in the league. I'd have to pull up the backups that are out there, but I've heard of like a Gardner Minshew.
He's not that bad.
Not that bad. I'll take Tyrod over him. Trubisky.
Hell no. Mr. Trubisky.
I think it's like Carson Wentz is out there.
Carson Wentz. I'll pass on that. Let me just pull up who quarterback free agents this year.
I would not take Mr. Trubisky at all. Get out
is Jacoby Brissett still out there?
What team is he on? I forgot what team he was on. I do admit, though, Trubisky did play his best years in football as a backup for Josh Allen under Daboll and Shane when they were over there with the Bills. But his tenure with the Bears and now with the Steelers, got.
Okay, look, check this out. Kirk Cousins. I know he's coming off that injury. If he was available,
he ain't gonna be a backup. He wants to start.
But again, O'Shane said we're gonna address the quarterback position. He didn't necessarily say.
Kirk
I know he said he actually did say he has faith in Daniel to be the starter. But that spiel. All right. Kirk Cousins, I don't think they'll do that. Ryan Tannehill. All right. Baker Mayfield.
Nah.
Baker's probably going to get a deal. You know what I'm saying? He had a pretty good year last year. Like I said, Gardner Minshew, that he's on there. Like you said, Jacoby Brissett, Jameson Winston. I'll pass. Damn, there's a lot of shit on this fucking pile, man. So that's just to name a few. I don't know, man. I think our best bet is Tyrod, man. Tyrod's not spectacular, but he's solid. He doesn't make mistakes. You know, I don't know if he wants to be here, but
he's very injury prone, though. Like that rib situation is not very kind to him. Ever since he had that rib situation with the Chargers, you saw it spilled over now. He's not the same. So that's the only reason why. I know he's a very solid QB, you know, vet and everything, but that's the only thing. Like, if say Daniel does go down, or we do need somebody to start the beginning of the year, that's the only thing I'm scared about Tyrod. That he's very, very injury prone.
Facts. So we'll see, man. Like I said, the combine starts tomorrow. I like watching the combine, man. You get to see, like, it doesn't tell all, you know what I mean? Because obviously there's no pads, and there's been people who've done anything at the combine and were bust, and vice versa. People who didn't perform that well at the combine and turned out to be, all Pro Bowl type players. But it's still entertaining. I like to see those guys work out. You know what I mean? Their skill set. Pause. You know what I'm saying? We had to stop.
I bet you do. I bet you do. Yo, Ed. I think we need another pause. We need another pause segment. We need another pause segment. We need to hold a pause segment of clips.
That's it. That short is coming up right there.
Yeah. But you know what I mean. So I'm gonna keep my eye on that. That starts tomorrow. So yeah, man. Listen. Great show, guys.
Yes, sir.
A lot of good stuff, man. We turned something out of nothing. You know what I'm saying? We turned shit into milk chocolate. You know what I'm saying?
We turned shit into a fly.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's not a lot going on. I've been, I doubled up. This is my second show. Listen, if you're into boxing, make sure you check out Drunk Sports Combat. Just had Jose Benavidez Sr. on there. So check that out. That I just finished doing the episode. That shit will be out tomorrow morning.
Hottest boxing show on the internet right now.
Hottest boxing show. Shout out to King Amin. Shout out to my man Adrian Bump.
King Amin,
Jones. Word up. But yeah, check that out. Also, we will be talking some more football Friday. On our show Friday, we're gonna be talking some Jets. You know what I'm saying? We haven't really talked a lot of Jets. Jets have been relatively quiet. But like I said, the combine has started. Joe Douglas addressed the media today, so we'll approach that a little bit. I wanted to kind of talk about it a little bit tonight, but we ran out of time.
Gotta talk some baseball soon.
We gotta talk a little bit of baseball soon. We're gonna try to get some people.
A lot of things, man. Yeah, with Peter Alonso, a lot of shit coming up, man. We gotta talk about
Peter Alonso.
Kodai hurt again.
Kodai, the pitching staff in shambles. So we'll get into that. I'll talk a little bit of Yankee baseball. You know what I'm saying? But listen, man, we will be back Friday, and we will be. I'm drunk. We will be more consistent.
Yes.
And then, moving forward from now on, we had a couple of issues the last couple of weeks. I don't want to make excuses, but there will be no more gaps where we will not be doing our Drunk Sports Talk flagship show. You know what I'm saying? You're always going to get Wednesdays, and the bonus you're going to get Friday. So I want to apologize to everybody. I hope you enjoyed the show. You already know what it is. Yo, Ed, Ed Television, you want to take us out of here?
Yes, sir. Let me just
look at that pouring his shot from a Knicks cup.
You already know, baby. Yo, with that being said, this is shout out to another episode 28. Like we said, we're gonna be consistent more than ever, better than ever. DST, the best out here in these interweb streets, the voice of the streets. With that being said, everybody throwing shots at DST, y'all only get half a ball. SMD, baby. Salute.
Stop biting our shit too.
Biting like Tyson out here.
We ain't forget about you.
Facts.
Peace.